Facebook Live and Periscope. So, okay, now we're on both. Live and direct from Planet in Queens, New York. Soccer Senseis. Rodrigo Salazar, Elias Artunda. Shouts to the Nike Connect for hooking me up, Nike FC. Oh my God! Now if I get my Adidas Connect, I'll be crazy. I'll go broke. Ellis, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing well.
No, you're not. You're about to die. You're sick. You have the Zika virus / the flu / everything. So, we're going to try to keep it short today because he is not feeling too well. What happened? The temperature changes going on?
Yeah, the temperature's been going up and down here in New York. It's insane. We can't adjust to it.
What's going on? Oh, okay. Fine. All right. So today we're talking about two things. The U.S. women's national team is suing the U.S. Soccer Federation because they want equal pay. They get paid 4 times less than the men's squad does, and they generate more revenue. And we were having a discussion off camera about this. We kind of, my whole thing is, I don't want to be, pro woman this, pro woman that. But if they're bringing in more money, it makes more sense for them to be making more.
Yeah, they should reap more profits.
And NWSL, it may not be 100% tied to it, but it's a league, and some of these players that play for the NWSL, they have to live like pretty much shacking up with other players in order to play, and that's not fair. It may not. Maybe they can't get paid as much as the guys because, as Alice told me off camera, they may not generate as much revenue. But they are generating as much revenue. So how does that make any sense for them to do that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I wasn't aware either that the women's national team is generating more revenue than the men's team here in the States. They do get a great following. As we all know, they are world champions. So you can't really...
There was a parade.
There was a parade here in New York.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When will we will die. You will die of Zika virus. I'll die of old age. And the U.S. men's national team will not win the FIFA, the World Cup. I'm sorry to say it. I love you guys. I love America, the whole thing. But we've had this conversation about why. Women are world champions. So come on, the pay disparity needs to be, brought more fairly. It can't go this way. Yeah.
I read about this article at we're switching sports now to tennis just for a bit, about Indian Wells. And they're literally the only tournament on the calendar, on the ATP and WTA calendar, which offer the same prize money for the winners, women and men. No other tournament does that, and it sparked lots of controversy. But as you were saying, in terms of revenue, they're generating more revenue. First of all, they're playing more games. They're playing more than 20 games. More than 20 games a year.
Yeah.
Who does that? No national team does that. Yes, we can criticize them in terms of their league, which hasn't been able to maintain what MLS has maintained, but that's a different issue. We're talking here about what the federation pays them.
Yes, they're not. FIFA is not involved.
Yeah.
For the first time in a long time, we're doing a show where FIFA is not the bad guy. And they play more games on shitty fields. There was a whole big thing about that where they're playing in like Flushing Meadow Park, basically. If you guys know Flushing Meadow Park, how bad those fields are. And the WSL kind of just started. And to be honest, again, we going back and forth about this. I'd rather watch NWSL games than MLS games. It's I hate to belabor the point about MLS, but go ahead.
We're still focusing on the States only, though.
Yes.
We do have to bring up the issue how these federations pay women in other countries.
Yeah.
There's also not every country in the world has a women's team either.
No.
So it's a sensitive issue, but as you said, there's no excuse to pay 4 times less. No, when they're generating that much income, and when they're a pride for the nation. They're a pride for the nation. Every single country, by the president's, I guess, by decree, gives their sportsmen champion. They're Olympic champions. You definitely get a bonus if you're world and Olympic champions for the past 10 years, or you won both medals. And as you said, for sure that the men's has never achieved that fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different. We do know that the we're not talking about clubs here.
No,
it doesn't have to, we cannot compare the Champions League with the MLS. That's that good. That's definitely an agreement, a contract agreement between a player, an individual, and a club and a private enterprise. But here we're talking about the federation, the national team. Yes, and I was surprised to know that just only FIFA gives a bonus of $3 million just to win the World Cup. When we know the type of money that's being won by European clubs or teams during the World Cup, European Cup, or Copa America, just to pass each phase. Yeah, only $3 million.
Let's not talk about FIFA today because let's have a show where FIFA's okay. For once, because we know we're the truth. But come on, for now. It says so much for the sport in general. Because if you're a young soccer player, if you're a young girl who wants to play soccer, now there's NWSL, there's other leagues in Colombia, there's other leagues all through Europe, etc. But then you hear this that you're getting paid 4 times less. Not cool. Solely not cool. That's my point.
You have no incentive. And as we know, most players only play an average of 10 to 12 years. So within that 10 to 12 year span, they're supposed
that's where you make your money.
To make that much revenue to last for their lifetime. Yeah. Not to go back when you're 35, 40 and to look for, an over-the-counter job.
And to start. Yeah. Talking about over-the-counter, to veer off for a second before we go into your Clasico, because I know you guys were talking about Ronaldo and Messi and Neymar and Suarez. We got all that. We're going to cover all that. But look at the minimum wage fight now in the United States going on. Everybody wants low pay, like let's call them McDonald's jobs, $15. Okay, fine. Okay, now the women are killing the men. Women's national team, U.S. women's national team, is so much better than the men's team. They're getting paid 4 times less. Like, come on, that just doesn't make sense.
So the minimum wage for men would be $15. Then
let's pay the men $15.
For women would be $5.
Exactly.
That is totally. Yeah, that is.
And they're winning. It's like you're going to like a gourmet restaurant and they're getting paid $5 because I mean, come on, Rapinoe, LaRue, you got Morgan, Solo. Come on,
it's unacceptable.
And then these guys over here serving you, McDonald's. Shout out to McDonald's, love you, McDonald's, but dude, it's not the gourmet stuff. You're getting who are you getting? Zardes, Bradley. Come on, Bradley. Really? He nutmegged you, Bradley. Through your legs, Bradley. Okay, let's leave it at that. Okay, we know where we're at. El Clasico. Real Madrid, Barcelona. Rest in peace to Johan Cruyff, the father. I say father. The father of the modern football, tiki-taka, everything else. Can Barcelona not win this game? I don't see how they're not going to win this game. There's so much going on, obviously, because of the death of Johan Cruyff, who was a player for Barcelona, who created the whole tiki-taka, total football. Right? Yeah, will be true for him. So for them to not win, not annihilate Real Madrid, I don't see that happening. What do you think?
Yeah, as you said, this will probably be one of the most emotionally charged games.
Yeah.
That the Barcelona players would have, as all of these players have had a personal relationship with Johan Cruyff, and as you said, even Pep Guardiola said that he is the one that invented this tiki-taka. All we're doing is adopting to his version of tiki-taka. So it's not as if I invented anything. I'm just applying whatever I was taught. That's what Pep Guardiola has said, and that's
the Godfather, really. I mean, like there was other people who created. I mean, Rinus Michels was coach and the Dutch coach, I believe.
Yeah.
So that it was initially his idea, but Cruyff was the one that pretty much spread the word. So,
it was said that Johan could play any position on the field. Well, of course, apart from the goalkeeper, that is. But he's totally, as you said, he's the one. He's the epitome of with football. Of
pretty football.
What we call pretty football.
Pretty football. I mean, that's because there are other types of football going on. Catenaccio, but it's not the same. You don't want to watch that. You don't want to watch Catenaccio. You don't want to watch the Serie A during the 90s or the Brazilian league during the 2000s, which was like MMA. You know, that's not pretty. It's ugly football. Nobody wants to see that. You know,
he was the one that put Holland on the map as a global soccer power, and it has remained so. Even though this year it has not made
the Euros,
the Euro Cup, but we remember just 2 years ago they were in the World Cup semifinal in a penalty shootout against Argentina. How would that turn out? 6 years before they were a World Cup finalist against Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So this team it has, and all the Dutch players throughout the 80s, 90s, we have the famous trio of Rijkaard, Gullit, and Van Basten winning that's the last team that actually won the European Champions Cup two years in a row. Yeah. No other club has been able to do that. It was a product of this Dutch system.
And I need to talk for a second about a article I read about Royston Drenthe, who is one of the most promising Dutch prospects. And the article wasn't about how his skill level was this, was that. It tried to talk about the Dutch national team. That the fact that the Dutch national team went down was because this one player didn't know how to spend his money. It's a lot more complicated than that. You may want to sell papers. I know you want to get clicks, all this crap. But come on, you cannot tell me that the whole national team went down because Royston Drenthe was playing, MC Hammer and giving jobs to everybody and buying sports cars. It's a lot more complicated than that, and hopefully, news outlets will get past that crap and talk about the real deal, which is, in general, other squads got better. Look at the Belgium national team, who killing it. I mean, the results are you see them on the pitch.
Yeah.
And
it could be they're not retaining their products. The Ajax does have one of the best academies in the world.
Yeah.
If not the best. But they're not retaining their products well into their they're not retaining their players in their 20s.
Yeah.
And it's also about the investment. Look at Iceland. Iceland is the best example. They have almost over 24,000 players. A country that's less than 200,000 in terms of population. So one in 4 or 5 kids, an adult is playing soccer. Literally, is in an amateur professional league. I mean, that speaks volumes. And they're reaping the benefits now. They're in the European Cup. Last year, they almost made the World Cup. 2 years ago. So this is Iceland has been put on the map, as you said. It's about investment, retaining your players.
Yeah.
And look what's gone.
But back to the Clasico. Everybody here's wants to play Clasico. I think it's going to be a rout. I mean, Messi, Neymar, Suarez is killing right now, and they're gonna kill Real Madrid. I don't see this going any other way. I mean, Bale, he's okay. I can't. He's okay. He's not great. He's not playing great. Benzema, head case. Really? What's going on with that? Really? He's playing like he's doing snatch movies on the side, like calling people and getting money from other people. And come on, dude, you're a world class football player. Why are you hanging out with gangsters? Enough, dude. Ronaldo. I mean, he's getting older. He's not getting better. He's still okay. He's still Ronaldo, fine. And I don't want to belabor the point about Real Madrid, but there's so many problems in that squad. I mean, Isco. I watched Isco play, but I didn't watch Isco play because he wasn't playing. He wasn't even. He looked pissed. Isco looked pissed to be on the squad. He looked pissed that he was on the field. So, how do you have that being your guy? And he doesn't even want to play, and they get him. They take him off. He was that bad, and he's like throwing shit. Like in the bench, Isco, what do you want? Like, do you want to leave? Then leave. Something's going on in the squad, and to me, it's a shame that Zidane is going to pay the price for this. Zidane should not have taken his job. Zidane should have started off in a smaller squad somewhere in France. Well, not France because PSG is a behemoth. It's like Doomsday. It's like watching Doomsday versus Superman. A squad maybe in Italy, where things are more parity. Start your career there, build that. Don't go to Real Madrid. You're not going to last at Real Madrid because eventually the ultras, the people that the fan base is not gonna warrant you being there. They're not going to want you there. They want results. They don't care if you're Zidane or Raul or anything else. they want results, and Zidane is not going to get those results with this squad. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, he started off on a 6-0 route, was it? It was incredible how well they did the first two games. And
the first games don't matter because any sport.
But yeah, it's really hard for a club legend to go right into management the club that and the richest club in the world. They're the highest, the club that really brings the pressure, the highest pressure possible. So yeah, I mean he was a club legend, but what we do know from other great players that once they go into management, they're not as successful. We had Clarence Seedorf, who was not renewed this contract. He only stayed for a few months at AC Milan, not away to go. Filippo Inzaghi, before Messi and
Crespo.
Hernan Crespo as well. Yeah, Hernan Crespo.
They're calling for his head. Like, dude, you got.
At least Hernan Crespo started at Parma, and he's moving his way up. But we don't see Inzaghi or Seedorf actually train a team right now because they start off on a bad foot. But like you said, start off at ground level, make your name. We have great examples. Mancini, we have Sarri at Napoli now. We have Antonio Conte, who started the Serie B.
You need a lot to learn.
And now he's going to Chelsea. Look at that, he's playing with. So you can't just go on with the name. Sometimes the name itself, brings you.
And sometimes the best coaches are not the best players. It just doesn't happen that way. Look at what's his guy, Furtano. I don't even know this guy's Pochettino
or Mourinho.
Okay, that's it. So back to the Clasico.
Yeah.
I think both teams are going to be up for it, but it's going to be very, very frustrating for Real Madrid to stop this behemoth like that. How do you stop? These three up front? It's impossible.
And the pressure is not on Barca. They can afford to lose this Clasico. They're 9 points up.
They're 9 points up.
Suarez is rocking again.
Oh, we're getting some hearts. Thank you, whoever's giving us hearts.
An equalizer against.
Identify yourself, whoever it is. Identify yourself. Suarez, yes. Suarez.
Messi scored his 50th goal. He's about to surpass Batistuta.
Neymar. Without Neymar, Brazil is.
We've seen that last.
Brazil.
And we saw that Dani Alves. He could have been in 7th place right now. But yeah, I think everything points towards Barca winning this matchup. Could be otherwise, but as you said, it's a very emotionally charged game for these Barcelona players.
GXX joins. All right, thanks guys. So yeah, I predict I'm not gonna see a rout because it's gonna be crazy. Marcelo, Pepe, come on guys, no kicking. Stop kicking, everybody. I'm watching you guys. I think it's gonna be 2-1. 2-1. I mean, and I'm gonna give Real a goal. I mean, they're quality, and and I don't want to discount where they are. They're quality aside. What do you think?
I think Real Madrid has to go for the win, right from the get-go. There's no way if they lose this game, they'll be 12 points down, and that's a wrap.
And where are they playing Champions League?
I believe they play Wolfsburg, which they'll be an easy tie to the next.
They fed them to the Wolves for Wolfsburg. They're gonna kill Wolfsburg. Everybody knows what the Champions League final is going to be. It's going to be Bayern and Real Madrid. Everybody knows who the NBA final is going to be. It's going to be the Cavs and the Warriors. But I know the Warriors are going to win. Who's going to win the Champions League? And we'll finish off on that. Barcelona or Bayern? No pressure.
Too tough. Paris Saint-Germain. Why not?
Okay, we got to go because my boy's hallucinating. It's not gonna happen. Not with David Luiz in the back there. Thanks for joining us on Soccer Senseis. Definitely watch the match, the Clasico, and thanks for tuning in. Peace.